Hey everyone, welcome to Nims Tutorials, or Nims Toots for short. This is where we teach you how to build something awesome in Minecraft following our 3 tenets: time efficiency, max understanding, and max entertainment. I'm Nims and I run them down here tutorials, and today we're going to be looking at infinite iron generation using mock villages to create iron golem spawners. Unlike other designs, this version is extremely simple, does not require you to download any mods, and is pretty efficient thanks to the double spawn platform. This is an expansion of the first iron golem farm I built using things I learned from it as well as things I picked up from other YouTubers such as DocM and JL. Before we get started with step 1, we need to first look around and make sure there are no nearby villages. I recommend building at least 100 blocks away from the edge of the nearest village. As I'm looking around here, there are no villages, so we can get started. First thing you're going to want to do for step 1 is build 10 blocks up into the air. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you can destroy all these blocks below the 10th block. Now I've already got a collection point set aside, so I'm going to build a little 4x4 square around that, making sure we're appropriately centered. Fantastic. And then I need to create a 10x10 platform centered around this. To do that, I'm just going to extend 3 blocks on each side, like so. And then once I fill this all in, you can see this will be a nice big 10x10 platform. So I'm going to finish filling this in, and we'll check it in a second. Awesome, good job. I'm glad that you can count to 10 twice. The next thing that we need to do is extend this 1 block out like so, and then add 3 high walls all around this thing. So we'll just continue to build like this. We'll go back and destroy that block in a second. And I do just want to make a quick note here that I am using iron as my solid block here. Now you do not need to use iron. Any solid block will work just fine. I'm using iron just because it's got those hard edges, which makes it easier to count with if you need to pause the video. Cool, so the last thing we need to do here is add glowstone around the edges of these 3 high walls. This is so once you're within range of this, you don't want any hostile mobs spawning up here, potentially eating your villagers or getting mixed into the filter system. So just adding glowstone into these 4 corners will be more than enough to shut this thing down for hostile mob spawns. In step 2, we're going to be adding doors galore. We're going to be placing 40 doors, which is going to give us 14 villagers. Now, that's awesome because that means once you get the first 2 villagers in here, this village is going to say more villagers are needed. So it's going to start breeding those villagers up until 14, which is going to give you the required amount, over the required amount needed for iron golems to spawn. In step 3, we're going to be adding the second spawn platform. This platform needs to be placed on the upper part of all these doors, and it's going to be another 10x10 platform here. So you can see I've got the door, and so these solid blocks are getting placed on the top half of these doors. So then just build out your 10x10 platform, and we'll check it in a second. Great job on the 10x10 platform. Also make sure that you did leave that 2x2 hole in the center perfectly aligned with the bottom one, so that way your iron golems will all collect at the same point. Then for the second half of step 3, we need to add the upper walls. So we're going to be placing down some more solid blocks like this. It's going to be just a 1 high wall all around the top ring of the farm. Good. Then, on top of this wall, we need to add 1 more layer of glass. So this is going to be the last part of step 3. Okay, now in step 4, we're going to be adding the water. I've got this design set up in such a way that the water is so very easy to place. You just drop it in the corner. It couldn't be easier. There's no weird stuff that you've got to do, no extra block placement. It's just put the water in the corner. Everything's already spaced out ever so perfectly for you. So that way, no matter where the iron golem spawns, he will always get pushed to the center and pushed out of the farm. Then what you need to do is we need to add a villager kind of bucket or a pouch for the villagers to stand in, so I'm just going to pick any side. It doesn't matter. Another thing about this simplistic farm is you only need one villager pouch, which is a lot better than needing like 2 or 3 or 4 or 8 or 16. So what I'm doing here is I've just made a 4 by 1 area here where the villagers would be able to stand. Now, in a Let's Play world or in a vanilla world, you're not going to have villager spawn eggs, so you're likely going to need to set up some sort of rail system, minecart system to be able to minecart these villagers in. And you can see that all it takes is 2 villagers, so you're not even going to have to take a whole lot out of your village before they'll start breeding, and then they'll breed up to the required amount needed for iron golems to farm, so there's nothing left for you to do regarding villagers. In step 5, we're going to be adding the Iron Golem collection, kill, and loot area. The first thing that we're going to need to do is select the side we want to act as the front. I'm going to choose this one here, then spin underneath it here, and then center yourself underneath this 2x2 hole. Select the back 2 front, or the back 2 blocks here, and then you're going to place down immediately under those 2 solid blocks. Then under here we're going to start to build an item filter. I've also made a tutorial specifically for the for an item filter, so I'm not going to go over it in extreme detail today. If you want to learn more about item filters, I'll include a link in the description of this video. So the big thing, if you're just tuning in for item filters for the first time, is make sure that the tails of these top 2 hoppers are facing not downwards. That's the most important thing. And then the tails of these 2 bottom ones, make sure that they're facing forward, and then we can drop a chest and a drop chest, or a trap chest, that they'll funnel into. Then we need to actually set up the filter. So in the top left hopper here, we're going to add signs, and then a single iron ingot. And then in the top right one here, we're going to add 4 signs again, exactly like so, and then a poppy or a rose, whatever you want to call it. And then that'll set up the filter, so that way all the iron will end up in this chest and all the poppy roses will end up in this one. Then what we need to do is center ourselves back underneath that 2x2 hole. Then we need to create a little hopper array, a little circular hopper array. So you can see how each hopper here that I've just placed is funneling into the next hopper. So it's just going to create like an infinite loop of items moving in between these 4 hoppers. Then we need to create kind of like a tunnel here, a tube that our iron golems will fall down. From there, we need to open the tube up, place down some signs, 4 signs to be exact, just like so. This is going to be what's holding up the lava being what kills the iron golem. From there, I just want to make one last note that you cannot build any blocks on any side above these 5 blocks here. So on any side like so, what this will do is it'll prevent these doors from counting as houses, which will shut down the spawner, and then it'll also give a spawning platform outside the inner area here where we want them to spawn. It'll cause golems to spawn on the outside of the design, which is obviously very, very bad, and you don't want that. So make sure, again, that you don't build any blocks on any side, any solid blocks, rather, on any side within 5 blocks of this design. Well, with that being said, that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. My name has been Nims. This has been Nims Toots, and hopefully it didn't stink. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.